Alright guys, it is time for my staple content every single year. My How to Suck Less series is basically the entire foundation of my channel, and it all revolves around helping people that are just completely below average take their game to the next level with in-depth tips and tricks that I've used basically over the past 10 years of playing this game. So today's video is my How to Suck Less at NHL 20, all about setting strategies and line combos. There's going to be about 7 to 10 videos in this entire series, and the first one is going to go over the essentials when it comes to understanding the settings and strategies that'll help you most in this game. Let's jump into it. I want to start with something that I've learned over the past 3 years. That there's no one end-all be-all strategy set that's going to make you better than somebody else. It all depends on how you play and how you counter your opponent. Sure, there's some strategy sets that will help you. Absolutely, across the board, if everyone used it, you would get better. But when it comes to breaking that plateau and really getting an improvement in your game, it all depends on how you play and how you adjust. So this year, I'm going to show you all of the counters and advantages and disadvantages to using every single strategy set, and then show you guys how to actually acknowledge and understand what your opponent is using, so you can then counter as the game goes on. This has helped me get better, and it's also helped some of the pros that I'm friends with get better. So let's start with just the basics when it comes to every single strategy that's in this game. So there is a strategy set that I start with, and I'm going to explain why in a little bit, but I want to explain what every single one of these strategies actually does, because on the right here, it really doesn't explain anything. So your forecheck is how your AI will handle the forecheck when your opponent has their puck in their own zone, okay? So the 1-2-2 passive means that you're going to line up with one player attacking the puck, two behind him in the middle, and then two deep back to, stop breakouts and things like that. When it's the 1-2-2 passive, you're really not going to put any pressure on it. You're looking to prevent breakouts and everything like that. The 2-3 is much more aggressive. It means that you're having two players actually attack the puck carrier, 3 back in a row to stop any breakouts. The weak side lock, I would recommend to stay away from. It doesn't do enough of either passive or aggressive, and it's in the middle, and it won't really benefit you, in my opinion. The 1-2-2 aggressive is the other option. It's, again, another aggressive forecheck with one player hard in on the puck carrier, 2 up a little higher, and then 2 again at the blue line to try and stop any breakouts. This is, when you're looking to be aggressive, it's the 1-2-2 aggressive and the 2-3 that you will choose between, and I'll explain the differences between each one and what situations you want to use them in a later video. On to the neutral zone. This is how your team will line up when your opponent is carrying the puck out of the zone and you're in that neutral zone. The 1-2-2 red means that you're attacking the puck again, one player hard on the puck and then 2 behind in different sets, okay? The 1-2-2 blue is even more aggressive because it does all this at your opponent's blue line, okay? The 1-2-2 red will mean that they'll put pressure on the puck near the red line. 1-2-2 blue is extremely aggressive. The 1-3-1 means that there will be one puck carrier, one AI attacking the puck carrier, 3 in the middle, and then one AI set way back in your zone. The 1-4 is obviously one player attacking the puck, and then 4 people at the blue line. This is one of the most common, and I'm going to show you how to break the 1-4 as well as use it effectively when playing certain players. The trap and forecheck. This is a slider, okay? This will tell your AI if you want to put all of your aggression towards the forecheck. You want all of your AI to be hard on the puck when you lose it in the offensive zone, whereas the trap means if you lose the puck in the offensive zone, your players will bail out and go back to the neutral zone or just at the blue line to make sure that you're not getting blown by or, to try and stop their breakout. Offensive pressure. This is how your AI will react when you're carrying the puck up the ice. So full-out attack means that you're going to see all of your players, including your defensemen, up the ice, okay? This is what will happen a lot when you see a turnover and you have no defenseman back when you're in the neutral zone. This is because someone has set it to full-out attack. and, you know, it's easy to blow by. Defend lead means that when you're carrying the puck up, you're basically the lead guy, and your team will follow you, but they're staying way far back in case of a turnover so that you don't get, you know, in an odd man rush going the other way. Defensive pressure. This is how your AI will react in the defensive zone. High pressure means that your AI will be attacking the puck immediately, whoever is supposed to. So if it's the defenseman at the point, okay, he has it at the point. That means your left winger will be attacking, or whatever winger you're on, depending on the side, will be attacking immediately once that defender gets the puck. Protect net means that everyone is collapsing to in front of the net. There is a time and place to use these two depending on how your opponent is playing. And again, I'm going to explain in a later video how to do that and what that's going to entail. Contain puck means that you will stay between the puck and the net, so it's a little bit less passive. Protect net is basically bailing out and everyone is just staying in front of your net, whereas contain puck will have someone you're staying in between the net and the opponent. Normal is essentially, I would never use normal. I find that the AI, if you do not choose one or the other, whether it be high aggressiveness or passiveness, you don't see enough of a change, and it's just not really going to impact you enough. Defensive strategy. This is going to help you immensely deciding between whether your opponent is using just short side wristers, point shots, whether he's working behind the net. This is going to help you with that. So if it is set to collapsing, it means that your players will collapse in front of the slot. If you've got it on protect net and collapsing, you've basically given up the entire perimeter and the point, but there's 5 players in front of the slot. Staggered means that your one top player at the top will be kind of hanging out in between your opponent's blue liners. He's basically there. If it does go up high, you're able to intercept. And then tight point means that your wingers will play hard on your opponent's D when they're at the point. So if they utilize the point shot very often, you want to use tight point. If they're just using short side wristers, you want to use collapsing. These are the tips and things that I'm going to explain to you depending on how your opponent plays, and that's what's very important. That is why having one strategy set is not going to make you infinitely better, because players play differently. Almost all of them play differently to a certain extent. Obviously, there is a few go-to goals, but if there's someone who is just bailing out and only doing short side wristers, having tight point isn't really going to help. Same with being high aggressiveness, because that's what they're looking for. And again, I'm going to explain that in a little bit. Penalty kill, basically you have 2 options. Passive box means that, again, it's kind of like collapsing in the defensive zone. You're giving up the outside, but you want to protect that cross ice and the slot. Large box means that you're essentially, if you think of it like a square, you're pushing the opponent out and you're trying to attack the puck to cause a turnover, but this can leave things open in the slot. The power play, this is how your team will line up when you are on the power play. Obviously, there are a few options. Overload, this is the one that most people use. Again, it's 3 players along the board looking for a 1T in either the slot or the points. And then the umbrella is, well, if you picture an umbrella upside down, you've got 3 or 4 players along the points, and you're looking at 1 player in the middle. Those are what you want to do if you're looking for a tip. You're just firing it on net and hoping. And then shooting is basically you're looking for point shots. So I'm going to go over what one I think that you should use in a little bit. You can ignore the power play carry / the dump because you're the one carrying the puck in. Control breakout. This doesn't really matter nearly as much as it did in the prior games. I had a move that I would do behind the net where I would just slam the puck and you could catch someone off guard because, there's the strong side slant where essentially a winger would just go streaking up the boards. But with how the shooting animations are in NHL 20, he doesn't do it nearly fast enough. But I would still recommend the strong side slant. Quick breakout. This is something that I think a lot of people overlook. And this can help you a ton if you are getting pressured and you are struggling getting the puck out of your zone because of constant pressure. If you are using leave zone early, that means your far side winger will just already be bail out and he's looking for a breakout pass or something way out the zone. That doesn't help you if there's 3 or 4 players on the opposing team in the way between that. You're never going to hit that pass. And that means that you have a lot higher chance of getting attacked and losing the puck. Whereas close support means all of the players in the weak side winger will stay down low and in the zone so that he gives you an extra option to break out. I think this is something that a lot of people overlook and something that in these upcoming videos I'm going to explain how to take advantage of. The offensive line. Okay, so in my opinion, there's really only 2. So there's behind the net and overload. There's also crash the net, but I wouldn't recommend that. So behind the net, you're looking to do basically a triangle where you're just constantly going around the net, passing between 3 players until eventually, okay, someone is open in the slot. You're looking to get him to chase you behind the net, and once you've done that, this is a great strategy to use. Now, if they are using passive or protect net and collapsing, you're going to roast them senseless with this. If they are using high aggressiveness, this is not the strategy you want to use because it means that their other defender, the player they're not controlling, is also going to go behind the net to cut you off. It's going to be a lot harder to use behind the net. Overload. Essentially, imagine it like this. You have 3 players on the left side or right side of the boards, okay? And then you have your defenseman at the point and 1 in the slot. You're passing it between the 3 players along the boards until one of the players either in the slot or at the point for a huge one-timer. That's essentially the basics of this. And again, it's going to work a ton better if they are using high aggressiveness. Protect net and collapsing, that will kill this strategy because you are looking for a pass, okay? And if everyone is in the slot, especially in NHL 20, intercepting passes is just super overpowered, and you're not gonna do anything with this strategy set. These I would not really mess around with too much. I'm gonna get into it in a later video and a little more advanced one, but don't worry about this. You need to understand the basics and the other things before that. Same with defensive pairing, hold line and pinch, and cycle and shoot. I would do hold the line because defensemen are so slow in this game, especially in HUT. I would avoid touching that, and I put it all at hold line or pinch. So the other thing I do want to mention is all of your lines should be behind the net or overload, okay, depending on how it's going. Don't mix and match. Make sure it's one or the other, and again, I'll explain that why in a little bit. So everyone asks me, what is the strategies I use? And I answer them always the exact same way. They never stay the same throughout an entire game. Unless I'm winning 7-0 and everything I'm doing from the start of the game is perfect, which doesn't happen very often because, again, everyone is different. These are the strategies I start out with. And the reason why I start out with this is because I don't know how good the other the opponent is and how they are going to play, so I take it very, very careful early on. Your forecheck is 1-2-2 passive. Again, as I explained earlier, basically you're not going to have a forecheck. There's going to be one player, kind of in the zone, looking to, but he doesn't really attack the puck. The neutral zone, I have it set to the 1-4. Again, while they're carrying the puck out, you're just clogging the blue line, making them have to move left and right as opposed to north and south, trying not to give up breakaways or odd man rushes. Trap and forecheck, have it set all the way to trap, so if I lose the puck in the offensive zone, everyone bails out. That way, again, I'm not giving up anything. Offensive pressure, standard. Never change this to anything other than standard, in my opinion, because even if you have it on full attack, it doesn't do enough to help you. Again, this is going to control how your AI reacts when you're rushing up the ice. The only thing it really changes is if your defenseman will be right behind you when you're rushing into the neutral zone. So, I mean, I guess you could use it to pass back to them, but again, it doesn't give you enough of an advantage because if you lose the puck or someone knocks you off of it, your defensemen are just right up on you, and it's going to be a breakaway the other way. This is one of the biggest causes of breakaways and 2-on-1s against. Leave that on standard. Defensive pressure, I have it set to protect net. The cross ices are still one of the most popular goals in this game, and being able to intercept is huge. So again, I set it on protect net so that they can't get any of the one-timers off. Tight point, this will do a nice mix to make sure that when even though I'm using protect net, it'll be a lot of pressure once they use the point. Okay, so again, when you give players the entire outside of the ice, they're going to eventually go back to the point because it's open. So when they go back to the point, then my wingers attack, and it does cause quite a bit of turnovers, but this does change throughout every game almost. Penalty kill, I have it set to passive box. Again, you want to be careful. Power play, I have it set to overload. This one, it depends. I don't use overload in the normal way that you normally use it. Strong side slant for my control breakout. Quick breakout is close support so that I don't, try and send those Hail Marys off just to get intercepted and then, scored on. Offensive, I use behind the net to start the game. The reason for it is because if I do get in the offensive zone, I want to make them go as far as they have to get out of their zone and all the way down into a scoring chance to get. So if you're using behind the net, they literally have, if they get the puck back behind their own net, they've got to go the entire length of the ice to get a scoring chance against. I will switch this to overload if they are using high aggressiveness, though. So guys, this is how I start all of my games, and I hope this video has explained to you how each of these strategies work. In the next few videos, the next one specifically, I'm going to give you examples of each one of these and how to counter when your opponent is using one. So if your opponent is using the 2-3 forecheck, how do you counter that to make it to your advantage? Same thing with neutral zone. If someone's hard trapping you, how do you beat that? Okay, I'm going to show you guys all of that, and these are the most important videos that I will put on my channel all year long. I will help every single player, because once you understand all of these and learn to make adjustments, you're going to be just a far, far better player, guys. So if you do like the content and you want to get better at this game, please subscribe to my channel. I'm here all year long. This is what I do for a living. So guys, I'm going to see you very shortly with the next video in the How to Suck Less series. Let me know if you have any specific questions down below in the comments section. I'll see you next time, guys.